Hey guys, welcome back.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us again to This is Jay and Mark's show. So we are kicking off our hot topics this week with last Sunday, the Oscars 2021. So it was a little bit of a mess. It was kind of boring. The biggest upset, I think, was that they switched the way they usually say Best Picture for last, and then they switched it to Best Actor, leaving everyone to assume it was going to go to Chadwick Boseman, and then it went to Anthony Hopkins, which was really weird because he didn't really... I think he might have won, like, one other award this season, but it was like a... you know, whatever. So it was really weird. It was sketchy. But they did have the, like, most diverse winners in Oscars history, I believe. So that was Sunday.
That was Sunday. So Monday, honestly, Monday was super strange as well. Like, Justin Bieber debuts this new dreadlock-ish attempt style. Honestly, it's like, it's not even done well.
No.
Like, first of all, it's really hard. Dreadlocks on straight hair is something that is almost like, you have to be very strategic on how you do it.
You know, it's a very cultural. There's no reason why a white person needs it. Period.
Definitely. And immediately he encountered some backlash, and he was definitely accused of cultural appropriation, which comes super close to his recent MLK insert in one of his songs. So
multiple. He had like multiple MLK like quotes and speeches like in his last album that got a lot of backlash. So he's just a mess. Boy, bye. Moving right along to Tuesday and some good news in the Free Britney case. So Britney, for the first time in I believe it's 12 years, is going to
13.
Yeah, 13. So is going to speak. She asked to speak before the court. So, and I believe they granted it. So it's set for, I believe, June 23rd, late June, something like that. So I don't know if she's going to like just give a statement or speak on like not wanting to have the conservatorship or wanting to continue it. We'll see, guys. Keep your eyes peeled.
I'm interested to see which Britney we're going to get. And talking about summertime. So Gossip Girl gets a reboot.
XOXO.
And XOXO. We're back.
Yes.
So it's definitely going to be pretty exciting. I'm totally hating on Kristen Bell and how much she makes for saying what she says.
What was it?
Gossip
I think it was
Girl.
like...
But you know what, girl? It's like $125,000 per episode. Get your coins, girl.
Yes.
Get your coins, because we have been cheap.
Okay, moving right along to Wednesday's big news. I think the biggest news for anybody that was paying attention Wednesday was that Rudy Giuliani's home and office was raided by the feds, honey. Okay, so they're like being very vague with the details. I've heard a bunch of different things, but so far it's all connected to like collusion with Russia and voter fraud and all this shit too, like them trying to give Trump, the 2020 election.
And let me tell you, news have been very exclusive because I heard about this, but I didn't see it in my local local news here in Virginia. So it's kind of like one of those weird things that it's like, why isn't this being said or publicized more? Why not?
Okay, pay attention, y'all. Watch out for him. I think he's gonna get disbarred. Okay, let him know.
Now, something I want to say, a step in the right direction towards Ahmaud Arbery's case. Yeah. Which comes forth with the induction of 3 men. So those 3 men that like were claiming innocence have been inducted with federal hate crime charges. Indicted. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so that being said, I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's been well over a year, so it's about time.
Yes, and speaking of about time, on Thursday, the news broke that 5 suspects were arrested in the whole Lady Gaga dognapping, dog walker shooting saga. Okay? Everybody was arrested in that, including the woman who came forward and like claimed the reward and everything. It's crazy. I was reading some of the story and it was like that basically it was a setup because the dog breed is so rare that they were gonna try and like breed it and like resell and all this shit. Like it was like this whole big fucking thing.
They had a long-term plan.
Let me tell you, and I'm just curious, like, was it, we still don't really know, was it like a targeted attack on Lady Gaga specifically, or just like that breed of dog? And she just so happened to have that fucking dog. So, we shall see.
Talking about something else that we shall see.
Okay.
Whoever has this footage, if it does exist out there, shoot it to your girl, because Janet Mock went off. And for those of you who don't know who Janet Mock is, she's a director, producer on the hit show Pose. Yes. She is also a very affluent transgender woman. Yes. And she, at the season 3 finale, like overall series finale premiere, she goes up on a podium and honey, she goes off. She basically exposes herself, her intimacy, her relationships, how she had an affair, which honestly, the way she was speaking, I understand, like she was trying to like convey that, hey, I'm a real person. I'm like, this is me, yada, yada, yada. But honey was on that juice.
It seemed very pointed to like, that she couldn't be owned. So I feel like there might have been some behind the scenes, like somebody trying to expose her, manipulate her, and this was her jumping in front of it.
She wanted more money.
Maybe, who knows? But she basically like exposed herself for having an affair with a crew member in front of her current boyfriend, and like said it in front of a room full of like peers, like that. It was just crazy. Like, I don't know.
Makes him stand up and basically humiliates him.
Yeah. So listen.
But you know what? We don't judge. We don't know what type of things go on behind closed doors. So
that's what I was gonna say. The one thing that I will be judging though is the next day news breaks of Mr. Josh Duggar. Okay, that whole family creeps me out. I'm sorry. I don't. Again, we were just saying we don't pass judgment, but I get very creepy vibes. I'm not necessarily judging. It's just the vibes that I'm feeling, and so.
I'm judging. There's facts. I'm judging.
Okay, so now in the latest crazy saga, he was arrested, and basically what the news is so far reporting is that it was like child sexual abuse images. So I don't even want to know. I don't want to see any of that. That sounds crazy. I believe this is the same one that had the issues with like his sister, that he was like molesting her. Like, this is
molesting her.
Crazy. This is just insanity. If this family is like gatekeeping, like safeguarding this secret,
condoning this,
that's crazy. Insanity. Okay.
Insanity indeed. And talking about insanity, Marilyn Manson is in hot water once again, being sued by Esmé Bianco for rape and abuse. And for those of you who don't know who Esmé Bianco is, she was Roz in Game of Thrones, and she's also in The Magicians. She plays
Jane Chatwin.
Yes. So crazy. She's suing him, and honestly, it's crazy that another person has come forth with similar allegations, and I think it needs to be addressed. Like, why aren't we going to court? What's going on?
Yeah, honestly, they need to get that together. This man is a menace, okay? It's already like the third person coming forward and saying some craziness about him. So moving right along to Saturday. So I'm not big in this. Jay was watching the Derby and, very, very down south tradition. So Bob Baffert wins the 147th Kentucky Derby, tying Tom Brady with 7 wins. So I don't know any of this. So what does that mean, Jay? Explain to me. What is Tom Brady doing at the Derby? I thought he was a football player.
So he is, but he's also an avid Derby go-seer.
Okay.
So he's definitely always there. He definitely supports. But Tom Brady is the GOAT in the sense that he has 7 Super Bowl championships. So in similar fashion, Bob Baffert is also the GOAT. I think eventually these two characters need to sit down together and just hash it out and talk about their athleticism, because these horses, they're athletes. Go Medina Spirit,
Awesome.
I was rooting for Rock Your World because they had a Dominican jockey.
Okay.
So, but hear me out. The Dominican jockey will be riding Bob Baffert's horse at Preakness over in Baltimore, which I was trying to go to, but it's a little pricey. I like what they're doing. I like how they're trying to entice the younger crowd.
Okay.
So I'm all for it.
Keep us posted.
That's it. And honestly, on a sad note, Olympia Dukakis, she passed away at age 89, and she was this lovable character. We've seen her in so many things. She was an Academy Award winner. Steel Magnolia is one of my all-time favorite movies. Yeah, she's in that. Moonstruck. And honestly, she did so many cameos. She was super funny. May she rest in paradise.
Hey, R.I.P. legend. Rest easy. So that takes care of our hot topics for the week. We are going to jump right into our topic of this week, and something that we think everyone needs to be practicing, which is basically self-improvement, and more importantly, accountability with self-improvement. So I think that, me and Jay, we talk a lot. We shoot the shit all the time and just talk about personal stuff. And a big thing with both of us is always trying to, do better, be better. We don't always succeed, and that's okay too. But the effort, giving the effort and holding yourself accountable, I think that we're actually really good about when we mess up, we'll be yeah, I fucked up. You know what I mean? There's no... You have to. You don't progress if you don't own up to your mistakes, if you don't recognize what those mistakes are, because how do you know not to do them again? It's kind of I don't know about you guys, but whenever I messed up, I got an ass whooping. So I knew not to do that again, So I'm not saying I'm an avid believer in corporal punishment, but it does work for certain kids. Certain people are special. Hello.
They need that extra push.
I think the bigger thing with accountability really is just, it's hard. It's really hard to look at yourself and see your flaws and admit that
be honest.
Yeah, just that sometimes...
Be honest with yourself.
I think that's the bigger thing. I think that's a big thing with and I think that might be a topic for us next week for our, topic of the week. But it bleeds into this whole thing of society now, and cancel culture, and people finding something wrong and then not allowing the person to have the opportunity to grow or hold themselves accountable. If somebody makes an apology and then time goes by and they do absolutely nothing different, of course, by all means, forget it, move on. Don't give them your money. Don't support them as an artist or whatever the case may be. But I just... where the line is of accountability, and it's so complex in that same multitude of craziness. It's the whole... It's
super general.
Yeah.
It's super general because the way that I see it is me specifically, I have this thing that when I am active and I'm working out and I'm eating when I'm supposed to be eating, I'm drinking water when I'm supposed to be drinking water, or the amounts that I'm supposed to be drinking, or I'm sleeping the hours that I'm supposed to be sleeping, I feel amazing. I feel great,
Yeah.
But the issue comes about being consistent. and holding myself accountable to that consistency, because in the end, like, I'll only be cheating myself. And it happens so often that sometimes it gets really disappointing, and it kind of leads into like this circle of toxicity where you're not holding yourself accountable to doing the things that will make you happy. And then you're getting mad because you're not happy because you're not doing these things, but you're not doing these things because you're not pushing yourself to do them. So it's kind of like
vicious,
one of those
vicious circle.
Volatile, super volatile. So it's kind of like, I know that this show is a great way to communicate with different people, and I want to open myself up, and I want us to just be open to receive different tricks of the trade from people on how they hold themselves accountable to keeping up with their goals and tasks. Because like, I am starting my weight loss journey, and I'm going to be documenting it through TikTok, Facebook, wherever, honestly, but mostly TikTok. And one of those things that's really hard with weight loss is accountability. You know, and that is tied to so many things, to mental health, to just the phrase, wealth is health, health is wealth.
Yes.
You know?
And in holding accountability, one, I am so proud of you. Good luck on your journey, and we will all be watching. And two, I am also going to hold myself accountable and say, I'm not 100% ready to go on that journey yet. So I'm not going to lie to y'all and tell y'all that I'm going to be starting that just yet. But one day soon.
That's honest.
One day soon, I will be ready. I know it. I know it. It's very complicated for me because I have a very silly, I think, relationship with food and eating and exercise and just the whole beast of it. There's a lot of complexity going on up in here.
And we're going to get better. We're going to get better.
We'll get better together, guys. We'll get better together.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. We love having you guys every week. Come back again next week and see what we got to talk about then. Love you guys.
Love you.